athletes get into those passing lanes and produce turnovers.
Ewing, air ball, Smith. Oakley with the rebound, went to the left hand. The Bulls 21, and the Knicks 18 as we come up on 3 minutes left, first quarter.
Well, you can see that Chicago has New York playing more at its tempo. Hurrying up, taking open jump shots, not what New York is noted for. They use time on the clock. They keep the scores low. They execute their offense.
Away from the ball, a holding foul called on Charles Smith. Timeout taken, 2:57 remaining in this first quarter. Michael Jordan off the steal, and Jordan has 7 points. We'll be right back. Geared New York Knicks have been low-key in that department. Phil Jackson, one of the Knicks' most notable critics of their aggressive style, actually had some nice words to say about them with tongue firmly in cheek.
Right now, they're almost Boy Scouts. In my book, they're really playing clean basketball. I thought, would they have maybe 2 flagrant fouls against Charlotte in his 5-game series? That was very good. I don't know how many they had against Indiana. I think only 2 against Indiana. That's pretty mild for them, and I think that they really have turned their game around. I think Riley has caught their ear, and I think they understand that the league is serious about it, and that basketball is basketball. It's not rugby.
Still being quite complimentary, not quite the same as was written in the local newspapers about some of the discussions that had taken place, but that's Phil Jackson, the great ability to slide in and slide out of situations as he sees them develop.
I have a feeling the intensity of his points will pick up as the series progresses. Paxson called for the foul. So the Bulls now lead by 2. Well, there was one quote earlier this week, Phil saying we realize we can play through it. We can win. Not only is it accepted and condoned, talking about the Knicks style, but it's honored, referring to Pat Riley with that aggressive Knick playing style. Pat won Coach of the Year.
Phil, another one of the candidates for Coach of the Year, but coaches play mind games just like players play mind games, and if you can aggravate that guy on the other bench to where he's worrying more about that than concentrating on substitutions and defenses and plays, then it's an advantage for you.
Although, you know, I don't think Phil got any votes in that Coach of the Year battle. Scottie Pippen with his first field goal. He was in a very difficult position. Not that he cares about awards, but as he likes to say, as we mentioned earlier, they patched together. That's an illegal defense call for the first time. 57 wins and a very tough injury-hit season. And it's not the type of season that will garner Coach of the Year votes.
Well, he may not have gotten any votes, but he would have gotten some votes from me to be considered as one of those people, candidates, because he had a very half-court offense to perfection, and Mason can't do it, but Patrick Ewing does. Going back to Phil Jackson, he had to manage minutes for people that were injured. He had to look down the road at the long-range plan and trying to win a 3rd championship, not be concerned with regular season victories. He did it to perfection this year.
Williams lost the dribble and then recovered, and a foul is called. It's a hold on Greg Anthony, who just checked in along with Anthony Mason. Coach of the Year voting. Pat Riley on top by 1 vote over Rudy Tomjanovich, followed by George Karl of Seattle.
Was your vote the difference in Pat Riley?
I did mention it. I did vote for Pat. Very tough choice, though. Jordan with the off-balance shot. And I mentioned that it was my vote that put him over the top. He said 31 other people made the same point. Oakley. Ewing. And back comes Pippen. Knicks able to get back, and Pippen slowed it down. King. And Starks going up in the crowd to pull it down.
One of the things that Chicago likes to do when New York brings Anthony and Starks, the smaller backcourt, on the floor, they like to go to their post-up game. That time you saw Jordan down low. He was a feeder instead of a scorer, but they'll continue to go to it.
Nice look from Greg Anthony to locate the wide-open Anthony Mason. Knicks 24, the Bulls 23, 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. did well in not picking up the foul as he went for that feint. The Bulls by 1. Jordan has 9 on 4 of 8 from the field. Patrick Ewing leads the Knicks with 13 points. Here's Starks. Down to 20 seconds. The Bulls will hold for a final shot of this opening quarter. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. And Jordan fires off the mark, but a whistle for a foul. Offensive foul against Chicago. Illegal pick called on Pippen. That is his first, and the Bulls are very upset.
They say Scottie Pippen moved into the path of the defensive player, John Starks, as he was trying to set that screen. If it's at the last second and you jump out into that defender's path, then it's a good call. If he had time to react, then it's a bad call.
Anthony with that last second fling, and that's the end of the first quarter. Game 1 of this best of 7 Eastern final. Patrick Ewing coming up big at the start. 13 points and 7 rebounds. Turnovers hurting the Knicks, and Chicago leads by 1. Celebrity turnout here at the Garden. Dustin Hoffman, it goes back to the Knicks championship teams of the early 70s. Same for Woody Allen, who has been a regular along with Dustin. Bill Murray. And a yes, little popcorn goes on. Thank you so much. Georgetown's John Thompson checking out his former protege, Patrick Ewing. Tom Brokaw has also been a regular here at courtside. On to the second quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, and Hannah Storm from the Garden. Better than 19,000 on hand. Game 1 of the best of 7, and the Bulls lead by 1.
One good sign for New York is that they have gotten to the free throw line 13 times to the Bulls. 4 attempts during the regular season matchup. The Bulls wound up actually shooting just 8 more free throws in their 4 games against each other. The problem is that New York is just 6 out of 13 from the foul line.
Foul called on Anthony Mason. The Bulls going with a combination of Stacey King, Scott Williams, and Horace Grant up front. John Paxson, Michael Jordan in the backcourt. Starks on Jordan. Yes. Michael Line driving it home. He has 11. The Bulls lead by 3.
Although they executed that time and got into their half-court offense and got a good shot out of it, Chicago will continue to stress the open floor. Get out and run. That's how they took the lead early in the game, going up and down in transition. They don't like playing against New York's half-court set defense.
Starks. Well, there's no question that Michael Jordan respects the outside touch of John Starks. He has played him very tightly. Last year, I don't think that Jordan had the same kind of respect for Starks.
I think Starks realizes the aggressiveness that Jordan has come out with. That time, a violent, strong ball fake. He got Jordan to go by, took his time, stepped underneath, and got a good look at the basket.
Crowd wanted a charge. Here's Starks leading a 4-on-3, but Paxson effectively stopped the ball. Anthony and Starks at the guard. Ewing, Mason, Smith. Up front, here's Anthony. Bulls do not respect the outside touch on Greg Anthony. They won't give him that shot. You heard the groans from the crowd as he began his release. Bulls have a 1-point lead. Minute and a half gone by in the second. Illegal defense called.
Let's go back to a minute ago. Both scoring guards, when they get the ball in the position that they want, Starks respecting that first step, backs up a little bit, so Michael Jordan knocks down the jumper. Then at the other end, the strong fake. Get him to go by you, step underneath, get a clean look. A little payback for John Starks.
And John Starks sits down. Rolando Blackman checks in. Michael Jordan thought he had a cutter along the baseline. Rolando Blackman has not received